being appointed prime minister is not new. That's what we call it when it isn't during a general election. The way that Mark Carney became prime minister was completely normal and part of the Westminster system of parliament that Canada has. It also is far from the first time that this has happened in Canada. Our second ever prime minister, Alexander Mackenzie, he was appointed. It was Johnny MacDonald. There was like a big scandal, and the Governor General actually called Mackenzie to form government, and Mackenzie was from a different party. So that's not the only one. I'm going to read you a list. So we have Mackenzie, Alexander Mackenzie, John Abbott, John Sparrow David Thompson, Mackenzie Bowell, Charles Tupper, Arthur Meighen twice was appointed, Louis St. Laurent, John Turner, Kim Campbell, Paul Martin. Kim Campbell, Paul Martin, you guys should remember those. This was recent history. Also, Pierre Elliott Trudeau in 1968, his first term he was appointed. This is not abnormal. This is like very normal. And it's not just us. Like 37 countries use the Westminster system of parliament, not just former Commonwealth countries. Italy uses it as well. But look at the UK. If we recall, in the UK, between the general elections of 35 and 45, Stanley Baldwin retired, Neville Chamberlain resigned and then died, and then you had Winston Churchill, and those were all between general elections. And recently, between 2019 and 2024, there was the giant cluster of Boris Johnson resigned, Liz the Lettuce Truss resigned, and then Rishi Sunak. And now we have Keir Starmer in the UK. So this is so super normal. And I know that a lot of bots and trolls are using this to gin up some conspiracy theory and make Maple MAGA angry and people who just like are low information voters angry. But this is like so normal, guys. This is the most normal. This is something that happens. And it's also why we don't vote directly for a prime minister. We vote for our party in case something happens to the prime minister. The party forms government. The party within the party chooses who's going to be the leader. But, you know, people step down. People get sick. Things happen. And this also happens on a provincial level as well. In BC, we saw here, we had our Premier John Horgan, who is the leader of the BC NDP party. He had cancer. He was struggling really hard and had to step down. And that's when David Eby took over. There was an internal race for who would lead the party, and David Eby became the leader of that party before we went to a BC election where he was then elected as well. So super, super normal. I need everyone to stop panicking about this. Also, if we could just like stop talking about the dairy tariffs. It's a ridiculous talking point similar to this one. It's all just propaganda.